Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. I want to focus in on a very important, very interesting, and very readily apparent psychopathic manipulation tactic, and that is of projection. It'll be very easy for you to identify once you know that this exists as part of their psychological makeup. Remember, when we talk about the psychopath, we're talking about an individual, a male or female, who has a heightened sense of self-importance, but coupled with most traditionally a lack of conscience. They're devoid of conscience, devoid of integrity, devoid of feeling responsibility or accountability to follow social norms, societal rules, societal laws. So oftentimes in their past, they might have criminal history, history of abusing animals, history of altercations with the law. So they do have kind of a criminal streak running through them. They can be felons. They can be engaged in really, high levels of destructive, violent, and very deceitful behavior that are on the level of felony in nature. In terms of, fraudulent activity, impersonating others, falsifying documents, going behind closed doors, stealing information. These types of people can be very destructive to an organization, a family, a relationship. So when we talk about the manipulation tactics of a psychopath and really sort of, picking up the pieces, I want you to very much understand the topic of projection. I work with a number of people who have been hurt, abused, by these types of individuals, and the brainwashing, gaslighting that is created in the targeting, in the love bombing, in the grooming of this can be severe and create really what is known as post-traumatic stress syndrome, where people can't focus, they can't sleep, they can't eat, they have a sense of fear, they have a sense of humiliation, rage, coupled with anxiety, which can be very debilitating and cause them to not want to leave their house. They have a sense of disorientation of reality. It can be very ungrounding, very unsettling, really because this individual has gaslighted them into sort of removing their own personal focus, their own personal value proposition, their own personal mission, if you will. And in the gaslighting stage, which we're going to talk about here in terms of projection, is really when this psychopath then turns on you. So we're really focusing in here on when you're experiencing a smear campaign, an onslaught of pathological lies, the silent treatment, the avoidance, where things were going so incredibly lovely, and yet this person is disappearing. So in essence, at least in your eyes, you have no reason to understand why this person would leave and abandon the relationship. Why would they seem so apparently disinterested? Why are they no longer connected to you? It is because this individual and their lack of conscience, they have also a high propensity of boredom, and this is due to a physiological response in their neurotransmitter of dopamine, which is the feel-good chemical that is related to our reward system. And so when a psychopathic individual has something that they want, whether it is money, prestige, power, a relationship, sex, a place to live, or just basically to destroy somebody, they will really stop at no bounds. So these people oftentimes will utilize the tool of vengeance and projection. Vengeance means when they really want to lash out at somebody, when they really want to engage in really a 180 twist from where they were in the relationship. So rather than everything being like a honeymoon of love, everything going along smoothly, perhaps business was going well, the relationship was going well, then all of a sudden you see this decline in the amount of attention that you're getting, time that you're getting with this person, you just see this withdrawal of attention, withdrawal of affection, and you're wondering what is going on. Well, realize that because the psychopathic individual has an overabundance of dopamine in their neurochemistry, they're very driven to seek rewards. They're very impulsive, and this can cause quite a bit of mood lability, which means they're going to fluctuate between on and off, hot and cold, here nor there, very quickly. So we see this oftentimes, which is another very hallmark trait, which is when, they might have a rage episode and then they'll drop it very quickly as if they don't even remember it. So they have no continuity in their emotional congruency within their mindset. So for people who have been victimized by these people, it's very confusing to them. It's very horrific. It really does play with their questioning really of themselves. And this is when the psychopathic tool of projection becomes most insidious. And this is a very deliberate, calculated endeavor for the psychopath. And that will engage in really when they have, a series of people, confidants, shared family members, shared friends, who they will then basically speak, they will speak basically betraying thoughts about you. They will talk about you behind your back. They'll talk about how you did something wrong, you spent too much money, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, this and this is wrong with your personality. So they tend to project these selfish thoughts that they are feeling onto you. They are projecting really their evils onto you. And so it's very interesting because I had a client tell me that the psychopath had said to her basically, well, what are you going to do with your boyfriend? And she of course had no boyfriend. Other boyfriend outside of their relationship. She had nothing to, there was nothing that she did or say to allude to the fact that she had a boyfriend. Yet this individual, the psychopath who was targeting her and in the devalue discard phase, was in the process of, throwing her under the bus, basically, and throwing her to the curb. And so, she found this statement to be very odd, especially when he kept repeating it. And, he said it in kind of a joking manner, as if to almost test the waters and to see if, she had, picked up on this. So they do a lot of this testing. But very insidious is the projecting of their selfish motives onto you. And then furthermore, spreading this to others. So assigning blame to you. Talking about you behind your back. You might catch wind of this. And this can be very, very disruptive, especially if you've put a lot of trust, investment, shared a lot of intimate relationships with this person. So this act of vengeance, kind of getting back, destroying and projecting, can be very, 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 very hurtful, very traumatic, and really create, after this whole insidious cycle, it can really create a lot of post-traumatic stress syndromes. And really, it's oftentimes because the person has invested so much in them. They have projected so much good onto this person who is in essence so evil. They have projected this permanent relationship onto this individual who is not capable of a permanent relationship. They had projected love and caring and sensitivity into this person who has no heart. So not only is this person close-hearted, they really do lack a heart. They really do lack empathy. They really do lack a consensus and harmony with their environment. They are very one-sided. They are out to victimize. They are out to conquer. They are out to divide. So, and when you are experiencing this or feeling this, you can see that chameleon-like effect when in essence they ultimately betray you and you see them really for the true person that they are, which is not the person who you intended to be or who you thought them to be. So it's not like you get what you see or you see what you get. it's really the level of deception, I think, is what's so hurtful for my clients, is that they did nothing really to create this drama in their life. They did nothing to cause it. They did nothing to, they feel that they, to deserve it, to bring it into themselves. They acted only out of love, kindness, sharing, and yet they were taken advantage of. And so I think that is what's so difficult for people to acknowledge, accept, and understand, is that they did nothing to deserve this being targeted. It completely came out of nowhere. And usually, and really these people, they tend to then turn on themselves because they had such good intent, or they maybe had become so gaslighted that they ignored red flags, they ignored the signs, or they let it go after their boundaries had been violated. They intended to just they let go too many boundaries that were in place to protect themselves. They ignored really kind of red flags because of the amount of love and connection and really sort of this fantasy, illusionary relationship that they had experienced. So, in this projection, if you've been projected some sort of evil or malintent, it's really, really disruptive. You feel like you have lost a lot of energy to them. Realize that this is an aftermath effect of a psychopathic individual, where they project their negativity, their selfishness, their really ugly viewpoint. I feel that they have a very, very ugly outlook on life. They're not able to see the good in people. They just only look to take advantage of people. Where I am very much the opposite. I see the good in people. I am very much non-judgmental. I'm an open-hearted, open-minded person, coachable, loving, attentive, nurturing. These are qualities that I have, and these are qualities that a psychopathic individual does not have. So it is this type of person who is empathetic, caring, loving, nurturing, that has these qualities that they don't have, which they will then target to try to annihilate. They'll try to learn really, they'll suss you out and try to learn these sort of qualities from you, so that they can then pick these up and use them to furthermore target other individuals. So really that's how they work. So if you have felt this betrayal on such a profound, deep level, where you are in really a state of complex PTSD or post-traumatic stress syndrome, which is akin to a state of shock, a state of a loss of functioning, where you literally have trouble, focusing, the anxiety, the ambiguity, the gaslighting is so severe, you feel so separate from yourself, your values, because you've been isolated. Realize that this will get better with time. You really do need to work on coming back to your values, resensitizing yourself, if that is a word, coming back to your senses, your ability to see, hear, touch, taste, in very nurturing manners. So you can restore your senses, your sense of reality, and separate yourself totally from this very toxic individual. And, once you can see that, I think you will become very self-protective in the future, and you'll be able to identify the good from the bad, from the ugly, moving forward. So, it is really best to seek counseling and, get into some talk therapy with people who have experienced this and who have really worked through it and been to the other side, so you can also work most effectively and proficiently towards your healing, the processing and understanding and ridding of these types of people from your life, your aura, and really your inner workings, your inner being, your inner body. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos, that they do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.